Okay, let's move on to more earnings. I think Anant Bajaj, Joint MD of Bajaj Electricals, is waiting by as well to speak about their numbers. So let's first go to them. Q1 highlights: PAT at 20 crores versus 5.6 crores. Sales up 13%. No wonder the stock is doing what it is doing. Good having you, Mr. Bajaj. Thanks for joining in. Let's first talk about the lighting business of the company. How did you see growth in this vertical, and how much will the fall in input costs aid the margins going ahead?
Well, we are happy to see that there's been a good growth of 20% in the first quarter on the lighting business, and it has always been, in fact, our original business from the very beginning. In fact, it is the oldest business of our company, and it's seen a lot of interesting changes over the last couple of years, especially with the LED becoming a big replacement product for a lot of people. So what we have definitely seen a certain amount of stabilizing this quarter in the terms of the pricing of LED bulbs, as well as the overall demand is really now starting to become sort of plateaued, because when customers are realizing what will be the right price, and to that extent I believe we have seen the maximum what it could get stretched. So pretty much the pricing which is now available in the tenders also is actually going to be pretty much the bottom end of the pricing which can happen. So to that extent we really now looking forward for the technology to stabilize, so that the customer can be more confident about LED products, and that has been the only real challenge with LED. And otherwise for our CFL, which is compact fluorescent lamps, that has been steadily degrowing as a segment, but I think it still has to coexist for some more time. And as same with the GLS, they're going to coexist very clearly for some more time.
Right.
So it's not so clearly the lighting margin point of view has always been directly dependent on the kind of volume that can be driven, and that we've seen a good traction happening, and especially the government orders are really being a good change of the market actually.
Mr. Bajaj, just trying to get in as many details as possible within the time that we have. Do you think that this performance is sustainable? Is this the kind of run rate that one should expect, especially on the top line, given the demand environment for all your products over the next 3 quarters?
Well, so, see, sustaining the bottom line is our main focus, because as we have a larger focus on making sure we get secondary sales done, get our projects executed on time, and to that extent we are really not so worried about the top line, because we believe that the top line is a resultant of doing all the other things correctly, and to that extent very much we believe that we can continue the good run and really make sure things go right. Over the last 3 years we have learnt a lot from some of the errors we might have made earlier. So clearly we do believe that the secondary sales and execution approach in the EPC business, or in the case of consumer products, we clearly by creating that extra reach availability to customer has made a big difference. And also, like what I had said earlier in some of the interviews, the rural markets are really where we are betting big, and even currently we are therefore doing a lot of work, especially in rural markets or the smaller towns, which we believe are the places where you see the real growth. And even for that matter, we are supporting big events like Pro Kabaddi. We are one of the co-sponsors. So that's where we really try to.
Anand, allow me to come in, because we have slight paucity of time. I just want to get a couple of numbers going. So you're saying that you are looking to do better on the bottom line. Am I to assume that if you've done about 20 crores for the first quarter, a figure northwards of 70-75 crores for the year is a very realistic possibility?
I mean, it's early. I mean, I would not like to commit numbers on bottom line at this point, but certainly, I mean, we will be in a very strong position towards the end of the year, because first quarter is always a slower start, and second, third, and clearly fourth quarter is always the strongest of the year. So this is always the slowest part of the year. So to that extent, you should expect clearly something good throughout the year, without a doubt. But clearly, top line wise, I can certainly commit 5,000 crores. Clearly, is something which we look to cross.
Wow!
And that I can commit for sure.
And if you're looking to maintain the bottom line, then I'm reading between the lines, and it looks a much rosier picture than what's come in Q1. Just one quick word really, last question from my end. Any E&P legacy projects that are yet to be complete, or are all overruns finished as of now?
Yeah, we have actually done with all the legacy projects. In fact, the last payments for some of the projects also will come in by this quarter. So to that extent, none of the impacts of earlier projects will remain, and even the current projects are going well ahead of schedule. So we should probably get some monies earlier than planned. So definitely, clearly, we're looking at a working capital cycle also in EPC business to improve quite well in this year. So to that extent, we should see much better working capital turns, and the overall return on capital also should be a very healthy one. And clearly, we want to show you the numbers again and again. I think the worst is behind us for sure, and we really would come back again and again, the smiling figures for you.
Sure. And you're smiling at that too. So we wish you all the best, Mr. Bajaj. Hope your earnings keep doing well. Okay, from one earnings to another, Marico came out with numbers. Shogut Gupta will be joining us in a moment to talk about those numbers. And in this earnings season, if one thing has stood out, it's again the consumer.